Hey, it's time for Wednesday night Trinity Class. Tonight we talked about the energy of nurturing. Nurturing is misunderstood by a lot of people. It's one of those don't I know you sort of wrong identity problems for most people, because they start thinking that nurturing is whatever it is they're missing that would feel good. To show you what I mean, we're going to do a couple of physical exercises. The first one involves taking a person who is a willing partner. Don't go up and do this to somebody on the subway, it's a little creepy. But you take a person who's a willing partner and you just gently stroke their skin. The experience that they have of this, whether they like it or not, did you like that?
A little bit, yeah.
Whether they like it or not is probably dependent on how much of that they get in their life. If their life is pretty harsh and cruel and there's not a lot of gentleness, they'll be like, oh my God, that feels so good, don't stop, don't stop. If they're pretty full up and their life's got a lot of gentleness in it already, after a while it'll feel a little irritating and tickly and they'll be like, stop, stop, stop. The reason that we get that confused is whatever it is we don't have. I don't have a lot of gentleness in my life, or I live with a bunch of rules and I'm just craving freedom, and suddenly we get freedom and we're on vacation or something and we don't have to do anything according to a schedule and we go, oh, this feels great, this is nurturing. It's not. Gentleness is not nurturing, it's gentleness. Freedom is not nurturing, it's freedom. Nurturing is a separate thing unto itself. And to really understand it, you have to let go of the idea that it's simply getting whatever it is you don't have. That's not nurturing. True nurturing has two parts to it, and I'm going to show you what they are. First of all, we're going to use the back of the person's arm, this part back here. It's the tricep muscle. And I'm just going to compress it a little bit. Notice I say compress and not pinch or squeeze or grind or any of those aggressive sort of terms. Just a little compression, like you were putting on some tight compression tights to do some athletics, or you wrapped an ace bandage around it. Just a little bit of, kind of holding it, squeezing it a little bit. And then I'm going to extend. I'm going to pull on this a little bit, stretching those muscles and nerves and fascia underneath my hand. I'm not snatching or grabbing or tearing or ripping or any of those words. Just extending a little bit. Compress and extend. Compress and extend. I'm not going to compress and then let go. I'm going to compress, hold that compression, and then extend a little bit. How does that feel, Kathy?
Like a little massage.
Yeah, and it is. I'm a massage therapist. This is what I do all day. Compress and extend. Compress and extend. Compress and extend. It feels good. Why? Because those are the two components of nurturing. If you don't have the compression and the extension, you don't have nurturing. If you've got a situation where you are fighting with the other person, fighting, what you really want to do is connect to their core essence. But they're not going to give you that. In a fight, it soon becomes not about the original subject, but just about winning. And so you change your intent. First it was about balance, but then it's about truth and who's right, and you just keep shifting your whole intent around, and it's hard for the person to connect to anything. But if I could connect to what's really going on inside of her while we were fighting, if I could just find that core essence, then I could just walk her out of here. But it's hard to do because the person will shift around so that they don't lose the fight. Here's a shortcut. If we're fighting and I compress, notice I don't say push because we're pushing already. I'm not pushing, I'm compressing. I compress a little and I extend a little, and then we can just go anywhere we want. I'm going to really brace myself, and there's nothing she can do to move me, but if she compresses a little and extends, she can just take me wherever I want to go, and I'm really trying not to go where she wants. I'm braced, and I'm not. Compress and extend, and there we go. You can lead the person, you can push the person, you can do just about anything. It doesn't even have to be this big aggressive thing. If Kathy's mad at somebody and she's like, rah, 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 and I come up and I say, hey, what's going on here? and I feel the tension, I can compress a little and extend a little and just walk her off. The sensation inside of you is incredible. If you have somebody do this to you, you'll be like, where did the fight go? I was all set to fight, and with just a little bit of squeeze and pull, and suddenly we're going over here, and I didn't want to go over here, but I don't feel bad about it. In fact, it feels sort of like the massage feeling, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's that same sort of, oh yeah, that feels pretty good.
Yeah.
That is the joy and the power of nurturing. It allows you to disrupt that whole fight pattern. And it has these two pieces to it. You can do it verbally. If the person's engaged in an argument with you and they have a demand or they come up with a problem, you just compress the situation a little bit, press them for some details, say, well, I've only got 5 minutes, let's do this. Put some sort of boundary on it, make it a little tighter, and then ask them, what's the best solution you can think of? Where do you want to go with this? Extend them a little bit. You can do those two pieces verbally and get the same result you did with the squeeze and pull. It's an amazing energy. Try it out. If you like it, come to Trinity Class.